Not everyone approves of this princess wedding. She's going ahead with it anyway, but since Japan's Princess Mako and Komuro announced their engagement in 2017, their union has been mired in scandal, public disapproval, and tabloid frenzy.Some Japanese don't consider the commoner son of a single parent to be worthy of a princess. Their disdain was confirmed last month when he arrived in Japan for their October 26 wedding sporting long hair tied in a ponytail. Tabloids ran photos of 30-year-old Komuro's ponytail from every angle, with some comparing it to a samurai's top knot. On social media, some tweeted support for his new look, while others said it was unsuitable for the groom of a royal bride. A ponytail may not cause a stir in the West, but people in Japan are expected to reflect their status and roll through their actions and words. People saw the ponytail as a sign Komuro wasn't conforming to social expectations, according to Hitomi Tanamura, a women's and gender studies professor at the University of Michigan. If you were a singer or artist, it would be fine. But people think he is not lawyer-like nor looking appropriate for a person who will wed a royal woman, she added. Komuro cut off his ponytail ahead of Tuesday's wedding. But that wasn't the end of it. Unfit for a princess, Princess Mako, who turned 30 on Saturday, is a niece of Emperor Naruhito and grew up in the 1990s within the confines of the imperial household.
As a child, the firstborn grandchild of the former emperor and empress, quickly won over the public. Her manners are impeccable. People viewed her as the perfect royal, said Mikiko Taga, a Japanese royal journalist. Princess Mako had been expected to attend the private Gakushuin University with other members of the wealthy elite, but she opted to study a bachelor's degree in art and cultural heritage at the International Christian University in Tokyo. It was there she met Komuro, a man born just 3 weeks before her in October 1991. To a family of much more modest means. Raised by a single mother, Komuro lost his father and both grandparents at a young age, according to local media reports. After graduating from the International Christian University in 2014, he worked in a law firm in Tokyo, before winning a scholarship to study law at the Fordham School of Law in New York. Princess Mako's study took her in another direction. In 2014, she went to Leicester University in the United Kingdom as an exchange student before graduating with a master's degree in art museum and gallery studies. Soon after, the couple reunited and in 2017 announced their engagement to an enraptured Japanese public. At a crowded news conference, the princess said she had been attracted by Komuro's bright smiles like the sun and had learned over time that he was sincere, strong-minded, a hard worker with a big heart. Japanese media dubbed him the Prince of the Sea after the character he played in a beach tourism campaign for the city of Fujisawa, south of Tokyo. All seemed to be going well, but then came the first sign of troubled waters. The couple had planned to marry in 2018, but their wedding was pushed back. The imperial household said the delay was due to a lack of preparation, but others suspect it was due to reports Komuro's mother failed to pay back $36,000 she borrowed from her former fiancé. Komuro disputed the account, even releasing a 28-page statement earlier this year, stating his mother believed the money was a gift and that he would pay to settle the dispute. But tabloid gossip had already spiraled to dissect every aspect of his family and his life. Some reports even painted him as an untrustworthy gold digger. Although, in the United States, we would think mother's business is unrelated to Komuro K, an adult man, people in Japan considered this to be problematic and transformed him from a nice, kind, truthful young man to a calculative opportunist who was after prestige and possibly money, said Tanamura, the gender studies expert. An unconventional union. A chance meeting at university is not the normal path to marriage for a Japanese royal. Kaori Hayashi, a media studies expert and executive vice president of the University of Tokyo, said royal partners are usually carefully chosen from within traditional circles the imperial family socializes with. Additionally, in Japan, the perception that single mothers are incapable of raising proper children still exists, added Tanamura, the gender studies expert. In Japan, There is also an intense misogyny that debases single mothers morally and economically, she said. Some say disapproval of Komuro's upbringing says more about gender inequality in Japan, which has the largest gender gap of all G7 countries. There is a traditional sort of sex-segregated role for men and women that plays out not only in the royal family, but in many institutions here, said Nancy Snow, a professor of public diplomacy at the Kyoto University of Foreign Studies. Komuro's mother's alleged financial trouble has contaminated ardent royalists' image of the royal house, which ideally should appear symbolically pure and exist for the spiritual well-being of the Japanese people, Tonomura said. That view, for instance, is held by Kei Kabuta, a royal affairs YouTuber, who organized a march in Tokyo attended by about 100 people last Saturday. He said many royal watchers like himself consider Princess Mako like a sister or daughter who has had made the wrong choice. There are so many doubts and misgivings about Kei Komuro and his mom, and people fear the image of the royal family will be sullied, said Kabuta. Pressures of imperial life. The years of speculation and slurs have taken their toll on Princess Mako. Earlier this month, the palace disclosed that she suffers from complex post-traumatic stress disorder. The princess feels pessimistic and finds it difficult to feel happy due to the persistent fear of her life being destroyed. Princess Mako's psychiatrist, Tsuyoshi Akiyama, director of NTT Medical Center Tokyo, told media at the Imperial Household Agency. The princess isn't the first Japanese woman of the royal family to feel the pressure of imperial life. Japan's Empress Misako married Emperor Naruhito in 1993, abandoning a high-profile diplomatic career for life in the royal household. The transition was difficult for Misako, who long battled with an illness doctors described as an adjustment disorder. Each case of a female member of the royal family struggling with mental illness has involved different circumstances, said Ken Roof, director of the Center for Japanese Studies at Portland State University and author of Japan's Imperial House in the Post-War Era, 1945 to 2019. In the case of then Crown Princess Misako, it revolved almost entirely around her being blamed for not producing the requisite male heir, he added.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.